Don't it feel like a movie, teaching this girl how to waltz? Left feet she might have 3, but she sure feels nice in my arms. Old folks singing old songs, playing the agreed upon key. My eyes are stuck on her, her eyes don't leave her feet. All this girl, no class ring, maybe this is more than a lark. Brown boots, a dirt floor, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. Pretty outlaw call a 1/4 like knuckles on a barrack door. She got a brother down in Topaz, I saw that name once in a jewelry store. Wind around past the skaters and pond, looking for a cut in the wire. She got a key to the cellar door, I don't ask questions, man, just stand there inspired. Oh, this girl, she gets why I miss the garden at the Golden Gate Park. Young blood and old songs, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. Tell you, man, it's like some movie, and she just tailor-made for the part. Lamps licking the roof beam, she's got good looking down to an art. Hear the old folks sing them old songs, the background just fades away. Our coffee can fire's almost gone, she says I gotta get out of this place. Oh, this girl, a pinpoint, the moment you feel a spark. Brown boots, a dirt floor, we're dancing like 2 candles in the dark. Dancing like 2 candles in the dark. We're dancing like 2 candles in the dark.
Hello, that last song was called 2 Candles in the Dark. It's about a young woman at Heart Mountain taking around a young guy and just trying to escape, you know, the reality of the situation behind barbed wire, really desolate conditions, having been moved out of LA. These kids are maybe 19, 20 years old, and they sort of go on this journey throughout the camp, which is kind of a composite of my research, reading camp newspapers, the ice skating, people playing ukulele by campfires, old men singing in the showers, and just putting this all together in a narrative of these 2 kids wandering off down to the root cellar, which the incarcerees themselves dug out. There was 2 of them, big as a football field. I just kind of imagine these 2 kids going down, lighting a coffee can fire in the middle of the root cellar and finding some moments alone. And that's what I really love to do, and I think that's what songs can do, maybe more so than books or academic writing, is you can get in those quotidian, on the ground, just really slice of life moments, to think about affect and emotion, to think about not only big ideas of state and incarceration, immigration and stuff like that, but boredom and falling in love and these kind of small moments that I think really benefit us when we think about history to consider. But this next song I want to do is called A Century Out of Reach. I've actually never performed it before, so good for you. It's a song about folks who sort of were under two layers of marginalization. So people who, were sent to these camps, a lot of times you hear stories of being in the Boy Scouts or playing sports or getting married. This kind of all-American, despite being behind barbed wire citizen that many Japanese Americans were. But I think about a work called Looking for Jiro by a performance artist and scholar named Tina Takamoto, and she explores the very little documented queer lives in these camps. This work really struck me, and I thought about, man, you're sent to a concentration camp, and on top of that, you have another layer of being isolated from the rest of your peer group. And because it was the 40s, because the Japanese American community, like most American communities, were not open to homosexuality, these people kind of hid away, and most of them died, obviously, without children. And so this song reflects the very little evidence that we do have of queer lives in these camps, but it also does some imagining, thinking about those generations of immigrant bachelors who never found that heteronormative, all-American lifestyle. And once again, these kind of different layers of marginalization that people might have experienced. This is called A Century Out of Reach. A hesitating wonder hid beneath the floor, postcard of a matador, contraband and whispers, pre-war San Francisco, saving a week's wages for the portrait studio. Hold you still, my lovers, a copy for us each, just a century out of reach. He learned from Yonamura on a trip to Yellowstone, watching waterfall alone. Mr. Okumoto, 295B, lifelong bachelor, waiting patiently. Sun-kissed bodybuilders, dark room obscenities, just a century out of reach. I realize your life was an unfired, loaded gun. The vampire's waiting wife, who passed away before the setting sun. 3 gentlemen by the tower, handsome set of clothes, smile a cigarette in repose. Muscle men in cufflinks, letters and photos. Tina Takamoto, still looking for Jiro. I drift to Giovanni, Baldwin on the beach, and that saddled queen in Paris, just a century out of reach. Kiyoshi Kuromiya, write down his name please. If you ever need a hero, just a century out of reach. Just a century out of reach. Hi again. That's stupid. The next thing I want to show you is a short film that I directed called For Joy. Now, one of the most impactful things for me as a scholar and just as a person while I was living in Wyoming for a number of years and teaching and being a grad student was stumbling across a picture of a jazz band at the Heart Mountain Interpretive Center. I was so enthralled by this because I had never seen Asian American jazz musicians before, let alone in the middle of a concentration camp, let alone in Wyoming. So this was really inspirational, and then I found out one of the singers for this band was still alive. Her name's Joy Teraoka. She lives in Hawaii. And this was a film that captures myself and a classmate going out to Hawaii and doing a concert with her. And I can't say enough about Joy. She's the reason why I do things like this, why I do concerts, is to tell her story and so many other stories. What you'll see directly after the film For Joy, which is about 14 minutes long, is a short musical film, which is a collaboration with Portland Taiko. It's a Japanese drumming ensemble out here where I am during quarantine. And I took one of their pieces, and it gives you a really interesting look through their music, combined with my editing of archival visuals of the Japanese American experience from immigration to incarceration. In the middle of that is a song I wrote called Mini Doka, which is about the camp in Idaho. And I hope you enjoy that piece as well. So let's roll the movies, and I'll see you in like 20 minutes.